Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the football betting series here on YouTube Premier League edition. After a solid start to the month of January, we went 50% in our last 4 picks in last Matchday's episode, which brings our January record to 8 wins, 3 defeats with 1 push, and a monthly profit of £19.60. When we add that to our overall record, we're standing at 105 wins, 43 defeats, and 19 pushes, and a total series profit of £576.81. I've got 3 picks in today's episode, so if you think I'm talking some sense, please drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. Without further ado, let's get into it. Our first pick sees 10th place Brentford playing host to top of the table Liverpool, and Brentford, they faced Manchester City in their last game. After a goalless first half, the citizens jumped out to a 2-goal lead thanks to a Phil Foden brace, before the Bees pegged them back in the 82nd minute with Visser's goal, and then an equaliser in stoppage time courtesy of Norgard. The final score, 2-2. In terms of form, despite the win against Southampton by 5-0, the Bees haven't looked very hot lately, just 1 win in their last 6 Premier League games, or 1 win in 8 across all competitions. They host a Liverpool side who also came back from behind to draw their last game against Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood handed the home side a lead after just 8 minutes, and Forest actually took this lead into the half-time break. But looking at the stats, Liverpool really turned the screw in the second period, dominating in every major win predictor statistic. However, they were only able to peg back a single goal thanks to Yotta's 66th minute equaliser, with the scores finishing 1-1. In terms of form, this result continued a 16-game unbeaten run in the Premier League for the Reds. And when we look at the head-to-head records, the reverse fixture between these sides saw Liverpool run out 2-0 winners at Anfield. Goals from Diaz and Salah settled the match in a game in which, looking at the stats, Liverpool dominated. They took twice the amount of shots, twice the amount of big chances, and around 5 times the XG compared to the Bees. And that victory made it 4 wins in a row for Liverpool over Brentford, with all 4 matches at Anfield also seeing a Liverpool win. My prediction for today's game is, despite Liverpool being upset in the first round of the Carabao Cup recently, they have been very strong in the Premier League. They are hosting a side who are not in the best vein of form right now. Additionally, Liverpool have won all 4 of the matches played at Anfield between these two sides since Brentford's promotion back in 2021-22. Liverpool to win for me for a full stake here in bet number 1. Our second selection sees 3rd place Nottingham Forest playing host to bottom of the league Southampton. And Forest, they earned a draw in their last game against the current league leaders Liverpool. Chris Wood opened the scoring, and despite Liverpool levelling the scores with about half an hour to go, Forest gave a really resilient performance defensively. With a number of key saves being made by Matt Sells, the Belgian came up with 5 big stops in that match. In terms of form, that result did break a run of 6 consecutive wins for Nottingham Forest, although they are unbeaten in their last 7 Premier League matches. They host a Southampton side who shocked a few in their last match against Manchester United. An Ugarte own goal was the headline in the first half as the Saints entered the half-time interval 1-0 up on the back of an excellent performance on the road. They also could have easily added another goal if it wasn't for some Onana goalkeeping heroics, but 1-0 is a precarious scoreline, and Southampton found this out the hard way as Ahmad got fortunate with a break of the ball on the right wing and netted at the second time of asking to level up the scores in the 82nd minute. Shortly thereafter, Southampton's misery was then completed as Ahmad popped up again in the last minute of the match to score a brace and win the match for Manchester United single-handedly. And then, true to form, Southampton's playing out the back went wrong, and the ball was pinched away by Ahmad as he went on to score his hat-trick in just 12 minutes played. In terms of form, this does mean it's 4 losses in a row for Southampton. And the Saints are winless in their last 11 Premier League games now. They're still rooted to the bottom of the table. They still have 6 points. When we look at the head-to-head record, Forest picked up a narrow win on the road in the reverse fixture. Gibbs White's goal proved to be the difference in the match, which in all honesty could have seen a few more goals for Nottingham Forest. When we take a look at the statistics, Southampton were thoroughly outclassed during the match, with the only silver lining being that they dominated possession of the ball. That win made it a hat-trick of wins for Forest over Southampton in recent years, with Southampton's last win coming in back in the Championship in 2012. My prediction for today's game is that Southampton are having a pretty dire season. They've not really experienced the new manager bounce since the appointment of Ivan Juric, and heads seem to be dropping as the acceptance that they are bound for the Championship is starting to set in. Contrast that with Nottingham Forest, who have realistic hopes for qualifying for European football if they can replicate the first half of the season. One step towards realising that goal would be beating a struggling Southampton side here, so I'm going to be backing Forest to pick up the win for a full stake in bet number 2. Our third selection sees 18th place Ipswich Town playing host to 6th place Manchester City. At Ipswich Town, they were bested by Brighton in their last match with goals from Mitoma and Ruta to make it a 2-0 win for the Seagulls in Suffolk. In terms of form, it's pretty mixed for the Tractor Boys. 1 win, 1 draw and 1 loss over their last 3 Premier League fixtures, and these results have seen Ipswich Town slip back into the relegation zone on goal difference. They host a Manchester City side who faltered once again in their 2-2 draw against Brentford. The Citizens were leading 2-0 before complacency set in, and they gave up 2 goals in the 82nd and 92nd minutes to stop them from climbing into the top 4 spots. In terms of form, that result did break a brief 2-game winning streak, but the Citizens are unbeaten in their last 4 Premier League games, following what was a really bad end to 2024. When we look at the head-to-head records, the reverse fixture saw Ipswich Town take the lead after just 7 minutes, but this was perhaps a mistake as they did poke the bear. Man City went on to score 3 goals in the next 9 minutes and adding a 4th in the second half. City running out 4-1 winners in that match. My prediction for today's game is that I struggle to see any other result than a Man City win here. I think City's quality will be a little bit too much for the Tractor Boys to handle here. Nothing much else to add to this one other than Manchester City to win for a full stake in the final bet of today's episode. So there we have it, 3 picks in today's episode. Just the one game on the Saturday, and that's Brentford versus Liverpool. We're going to back the away side at odds of 1.54, a £40 stake to return £21.60. Moving on to the Sunday, we have Forest versus Southampton. We're backing Forest to pick up yet another win. Odds of 1.44, a £40 full stake to return £17.60. And wrapping up the weekend with Ipswich Town versus Manchester City, we're going to back the away side to pick up the 3 points there. Odds of 1.37, a £40 full stake to return £14.80. So across our 3 bets, we're going to be risking £120 to hopefully pick up as much as £54 exactly. Will we do so? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune into the next episode. But if you have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. Don't forget to check out the continental picks in the pinned comment down below. And as always, have yourself a lovely day.